Oh sweet, there's a Nintendo Direct on Donkey Kong Bananza. Let's check this baby out.
When the world felt so cruel and bleak, when the hole looked so dark and deep, hard as rock, cold as stone, I was scared alone. Then your beat showed the way to me.
Every year, millions upon millions of rocks are mistreated by humans every day. Whether it be driven over on a gravel road, or yes, being forcibly put through erosion, one water bottle at a time. With your purchase of a Nintendo Switch 2 and Donkey Kong Bananza, you can bring some hope in these rocks' lives. With your small donation of about $800 in total, plus tax, you can help these pet rocks and wash away all their fears.
Donkey Kong Bananza. Available July 17th only on Nintendo Switch 2. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Well dang, Nintendo went hard on that trailer. Wait, there are kids in those rocks? I'll free you! I'll free you! So, Nintendo recently had a Nintendo Direct focused on Donkey Kong Bananza, and frankly, I was excited for this game before the Direct, but the Direct got me even more excited than I was before. This game looks absolutely amazing, top to bottom, aside from a couple frame rate drops. They're very small, but aside from that, this game looks almost perfect. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of a rundown of my history with Donkey Kong. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some sort of saint and like, oh my goodness, Donkey Kong is like my favorite franchise. I played every single installment. You see, the lore in Donkey Kong Jungle Climber on the DS is just essential. King K. Rool is in there fighting Xananab or whatever the frick that alien banana guy is. Apparently he's pretty well regarded by people. Or at least one person. Well, you see, my history with Donkey Kong is kind of weird. You see, I played the arcade games like Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr. Heck, I played Stanley the Greenhouse Man's pesticide blasting adventures where he blasts Donkey Kong's Conky Dong to get him out of greenhouses. I played that one, and I even joined that one. Aside from the original arcade games, though, most of my Donkey Kong experience is the first Donkey Kong Land on Game Boy, and some of the games like DK94 and Mario vs. Donkey Kong, the original, and the Return series from Retro. That's my experience with Donkey Kong. Like, the whole Country trilogy, even though I own them on my Super Nintendo back there, I haven't really dabbled in them much. And while I have touched some of the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games with the minis, I don't like them. I don't like having Lemmings stuff. Frankly, the best Donkey Kong games I have played have been the Retro Return series. For me, maybe I'll go back and play the Country games on the Super Nintendo. That could sway me, but for me, Donkey Kong isn't like this top tier Nintendo franchise for me. It's mostly been stuff like Zelda, Mario. Donkey Kong has never been like the top priority game for me to play. But my gosh, DK Bananza looks absolutely insane. And this Direct showed so much of this game that's got me excited. Both as someone that enjoyed some of the retro games, appreciates what the Rare games did, and absolutely adores the arcade classics that made Donkey Kong a household name in the first place. So one of the coolest things I liked about Donkey Kong Bananza is the fact that you can tear apart all the terrain in the game. I think that is just absolutely spectacular. It's awesome to see all the terrain deformation that you can do, how every single thing interacts with each other, has properties assigned to it, and durability is applied to them based on what material they are that you're using. It's incredible to see how much work the developers put into that, and seeing how satisfying and how like visceral it feels to be going around just going punching the crap out of things as DK, shattering the environment around you. I honestly am excited to be able to try that out for myself. The act of going around the environment looks freaking amazing. I just gotta admit, looking at the game, having Pauline be in the game riding on Donkey Kong, it's giving me huge like Wreck-It Ralph vibes, or like Monsters Inc. with like Sully and Boo. Having Pauline as like a little sidekick that's riding around with DK throughout the adventure, it's cute. I like it. It's nice that they're bringing Pauline back. Continuity be damned. Those poor Donkey Kong lore enthusiasts are scratching their heads right now figuring out how Cranky Kong could have been the original DK and captured Pauline and still have this make sense. Fact of the matter is, it probably doesn't make sense. Nintendo probably doesn't care. They're probably rewriting the continuity. Whatever. This game looks awesome regardless, and I don't care if the plot doesn't make sense in terms of lore that's been established before. I like the fact that there's a little Pauline riding on DK's back. It looks cute, it's adorable, it's awesome in terms of gameplay stuff, and they're just all so expressive. It just adds a lot of personality to the game. Now, this Donkey Kong Bananza Direct introduced a lot of other stuff besides the fact that Pauline was in the game. One of the coolest gimmicks that they showed is the Bananza transformations, and frankly, I'm just glad that Nintendo brought Harambe into Donkey Kong Bananza. I mean, I like having Harambe be referenced. Never forget what happened in Cincinnati, guys. Harambe was good with kids. The kid would have been fine, but we are in the wrong timeline. But having these transformations, they all feel freaking satisfying and look absolutely amazing and everything. They have a lot of energy to them. They feel like very, very unique. And honestly, it kind of feels like the replacement for like the Animal Buddies from the Donkey Kong Country series. A lot of people like those Animal Buddies, and it's like Nintendo is just so adamantly against you writing Animal Buddies in levels, but there's so much demand for it. It's almost like Nintendo is like, alright, we'll compromise. Fine. You want Animal Buddies? Well, we don't want you writing Animal Buddies, but we'll let you become Animal Buddies, basically. like outside of what I affectionately refer to as Harambe Kong, they've added zebra and ostrich Bananza forms for DK as well, which allow DK to run really, really fast in the zebra form, and the ostrich allows DK to fly. They show him fly up when he gets to a gust of air, but the rest of the time he's gliding. And he can also drop bomb eggs, taking some pages from Rare and Banjo-Kazooie with that one. Kazooie gave Ostrich Bananza DK some nuclear bomb egg lessons, and I appreciate that. But all the different environments that they've shown throughout this trailer, all of them look freaking fantastic, beautiful, gorgeous art design. It's just chef's kisses. But you know, I also love the actual premise of DK Bananza and its world. Like, it's basically Journey to the Center of the Earth. Everybody that's talked about Bananza has been saying it's like Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's the easiest comparison, guys. I mean, what other sort of sci-fi thing that you can think of, or like that you like right at the top of your head, has you plummeting down towards the center of the Earth, and there's like multiple biomes as you go through the different layers of Earth's crust. Journey to the Center of the Earth is the one that is most relevant, and most people, when they hear that, recognize it. And the fact that DK Bananza is doing that, and doing it in a very unique way, it looks freaking awesome. I just love the premise, I love the story. Everything they showed in this direct also sold the idea that DK and Pauline are going to have a nice camaraderie throughout the game. It just looks like the story is going to be just beautiful. And if the story ends up falling flat, I don't think the soundtrack's going to fall flat. Everything we heard in terms of the music for Donkey Kong Bananza, whether it be remixes from classic Donkey Kong arcade games, or the Country series, the Rare era, even the Retro era Country games, sounds beautiful. It is like angels are singing in my ear, especially when they remix the DK rap. Best part of DK64, my gosh. But frankly, I'm just absolutely dying to play this game. I bought a Switch 2 launch day and been playing the crap out of games like Mario Kart, playing a little bit of Cyberpunk, Sonic Shadow Gens, Street Fighter 6. I've been dabbling with a lot of the system's library. Hell, I 100%ed Welcome Tour. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of this console, and you know what? I have enjoyed a lot of this stuff. Welcome Tour maybe a little bit less, but I still was willing to beat it. But the reason I bought this console in the first place was specifically for Donkey Kong Bananza and any future Zelda games that come out, because my goodness, I'm a Zelda shill. I will buy everything Zelda related. I bought the Switch 2 editions physically just to have physical carts of the Switch 2 edition instead of having to buy an upgrade pack. I have a problem, and gosh dang it, it's a good problem if the problem is buying a $450 console to play new Monkey Platformer. I am excited for new Monkey Platformer. And honestly, I've talked about all this stuff, and I hadn't even mentioned the fact that DK's redesign, I absolutely adore. This design for DK feels like an amalgamation between the Rare design and the DK design that Miyamoto made for 1994's Donkey Kong game on the Game Boy. It feels like the perfect blended mixture of both designs, and it creates a design that frankly has a lot of personality. Maybe you could say it's a little bit too on the goofy, silly end for your liking if you're a huge fan of the Rare design. But gosh dang it, I'm happy that we don't have a Battletoad as a gorilla anymore. Even though I like that original design from the Rare era. Can I speak? I like that design. But this just exceeds it in every single way, to me. And you know what? One other thing I've been seeing a lot of people want is the Kremlings thing coming back. And you know what? There is some hints that the Kremlings and King K. Rool are going to come back. Personally, I don't have any stake in that race with the country games. If King K. Rool comes back, cool. If he doesn't, I'll be perfectly fine with it. I played Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and I was okay with new villains for that. I played through the Returns series, like with Returns and Tropical Freeze. I was fine with those villains. I feel like Donkey Kong doesn't always have to have King K. Rool in it, but he has been gone for quite a while. So if they pull a bait and switch at the end of the game and have King K. Rool come back, I'll be happy with that too. The guy has some notoriety and is highly recognized and revered as one of Nintendo's greatest villains in their franchises. So I do think he deserves to come back in some form or fashion. Whether or not he ends up being like the penultimate final boss or ends up becoming an ally or something. Or hell, if he doesn't show up this time around, I hope Nintendo does consider bringing him back for old time's sake. Especially for the fans that love the character, because if there's anything about Donkey Kong that I've recognized, especially with the country era and beyond, there's a lot of characters that people love. And Nintendo has been pleasing a lot of people by bringing back characters like Dixie and Diddy, bringing back like Rambi. It seems like they're bringing a lot of the characters from the Rare era and putting them in this game. They're not ashamed of their past with Donkey Kong. It seems like they're embracing a lot of the past with Donkey Kong while also reinventing what Donkey Kong can and could be with this game. And that gets me excited. Donkey Kong Bananza looks like something I've been waiting for a long time from Nintendo. Like this breath of fresh air for 3D platformers, and frankly, we've been waiting 8 years since Odyssey for a new 3D platformer from Nintendo to really blow my socks off, or blow our socks off, I guess. It's not all about me, guys. I'm sorry. But we've been waiting a very long time for a new 3D platformer from Nintendo that just got me super pumped, and having a new platformer with DK no less within the first month and a half of a new Nintendo console that seems to really take advantage of the new hardware. Nintendo is really blowing it out of the park with Donkey Kong Bananza. They're fumbling a lot of stuff with the Switch too, like pricing of Mario Kart World at $80, the Game Key card situation. But frankly, I think some of the good from this generation so far will outweigh the bad in the long run, and something like DK Bananza will definitely help a lot of people forget about some of the frustrations that have come with the Switch 2. And frankly, I think this will be the big holiday title that will really help push systems. I think this game could really bring people that are on the fence about Donkey Kong and never really gave it a shot to jump on board the franchise, and this could see like 3D Mario numbers in terms of sales. Maybe not initially, but in the long run, I feel like this is going to have a lot more legs than something like DKC Returns HD or Tropical Freeze in terms of sales numbers. This game comes off to me like an evergreen Nintendo title, like how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and some of the Pokemon games were on the Switch 1 hardware. A game that just kept continually selling year over year over year, and it never just fully fell off. I still don't think it'll hit numbers of something like Odyssey, but I feel like this is going to be one of the top-selling Donkey Kong games in the franchise's history, probably rivaling what they did on the Super Nintendo with the original Country game. Well, I gave enough of my opinions. What are your thoughts on Donkey Kong Bananza? Frankly, this game looks like it's going to be probably my game of the year. And honestly, if I were to be a betting man, I'd say that Donkey Kong Bananza is going to get nominated for the game of the year, but Clair Obscura is going to win still. But Donkey Kong will come close. Well, until next time, I'll catch you guys later, and tell me your thoughts on Donkey Kong Bananza. Are you excited or not? Let me know, and hopefully I'll catch you next time, and I hopefully can catch you when I decide to do a review on this game. If I do decide to do a review on this game, I probably will. But I'll probably take forever to make it because I am lazy as hell when it comes to these videos recently. So, catch you next time. Bye-bye.